What's going on, y'all? Back here with a new damn video. Let's get right down to it. Eagles mock draft. Now, I'm gonna put volume 1 on this because I honestly don't know what the Eagles are gonna do. So I might come back later in the week and be like, "Yo, they might do this instead of that. They might do this instead of that." So I don't even have anything written down. It's not a first round, second round. Yes, it will be first round, second round. What I say. But don't take it. Well, we don't have a second round pick, but don't take it to granted. I think the first round. See, this is the reason why it's tough for me to make this mock draft. All right, now look, when we had Chip Kelly here, it was pretty simple who he was going to pick. I think I nailed the first 2 picks in the draft for the Eagles. I said. And I was the only person to say it. I said with the 20th pick, the Eagles will select Nelson Aguilar in the first round. In the second or third round, the Eagles will select Eric Rowe. And what happened? They did both of that. Everyone was like, damn, how'd you get that correctly? Because when it came to Chip Kelly and when he was on the Eagles staff, if you ever noticed, anybody he worked out or interviewed, he got in the draft. Jordan Matthews, Nelson Aguilar, Eric Rowe, Josh Huff, of course. You get what I'm saying. Besides, I don't think they worked out Marcus Smith, but whatever. See, this year's really tough because the reason I think it's really tough is because they're picking number 8. Now, number 8, there's options that many players you can get that are, fantastic players. Where in years before, or when I came on here, we were picking at like 20, 22, and it's iffy if you can get this guy or that guy. It's pretty when you're down there at the 20s. It's so easy to pick who the Eagles are getting. Not easy, but it's so easy. You know what I'm saying? Because there's that group of 20 guys, and those guys. It ain't like when you're in the top 10, like we're number 8 overall. Thanks to Miami. Miami, you guys fucked up. It's not like that. Like when you're in that top 10. When you're in that top 10, there's the best players on the board, and you don't know where they're going to go and who you're going to be left with. But you're going to be left with a good player. I hear a lot of Eagles fans saying they want Ezekiel Elliott. I would take him. I have no problems with him. See, it's so funny because this is the first draft, maybe in my life as an Eagles fan, that I have no problem with who they take because I know anyone they take at the top will be good. Now, if you take a guy who's supposed to be selected 31st overall, or first round, 31st pick, or you pick, like, for example, you take Paxton Lynch to number 8, I'll be pissed off because he's a late first round pick, second round pick. Now, if you wanted to get Paxton Lynch, I have no problem with that. You want to trade down. Trade down and get yourself a second round pick and get your boy Paxton Lynch, but not a number 8. Because if you pick him a number 8, yes, it's a reach, and also you get no value out of it. So those kind of things will piss me off. But I have no problem with DeForest Buckner, with Elliott. I have no problem with see, we're adding all this offensive line talent. I don't see us taking Ronnie Stanley. I wouldn't take Ronnie Stanley anyway. Really, I wouldn't. What I read, what I see and shit is that I think he's trash against the pass. I don't know what the hell it is. Something, the pass or the run. People are saying he's terrible at this and that, this and that, this and that. I like Jack Conklin, but number 8, that's a reach. But I have no problem with a lot of players. My opinion, the best player in the entire draft. Everyone says Larry Tunsil is this guy, or Joey Bosa. No, I think Jalen Ramsey's the best player in the entire draft. I'm not gonna say I think he's the next Charles Woodson because that would be a reach, but I think he's the next top thing. He's the next. I think he's going to be the best corner / safety, whatever you want to call it, drafted since maybe Patrick Pederson or some shit like that, depending on what position he plays. Then you got a guy like Miles Jack. Everyone's loving this guy. I got to watch more on him, but everyone loves him. His athleticism. Let me tell you something. I got to watch more on him, but from what I heard, he could play quarterback. He could play cornerback, linebacker. He can play running back. And I watched a little bit of him. I'm sorry. But I want a fucking big-ass linebacker. I don't want no linebacker who can play running back because that means he's smaller. That means he's fat. You get what I'm saying. But I don't know. I'm just weird like that. But he's hurt, right? He's injured. First off, he's coming into the draft injured. Who's the last guy to come into the goddamn draft injured besides, well, Todd Gurley came in injured. Who was the other guy? I think it was Sam Bradford. Look how that turned out. But you get what I'm saying. A lot of people get in love with players off their athleticism. I'm not talking about wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, this and that, because that's an exception. That's offense. But they get in love with athleticism on defense. I'll give you the best example, Jadeveon Clowney. He was athletic as shit for a defensive end. Now I guess plays outside linebacker. I said it since day one he'll be a goddamn bust. I didn't see his potential. I didn't see his talent, especially go number 1 overall. I mean, you would have been better off with Blake Bortles, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, even that they weren't rated that high. Or hell, even Johnny Manziel, even though he ain't shit in the NFL, you're still doing better with him because you don't know what you would have had. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he would have stayed on the right track, been a starter, and not became an alcoholic, sitting on the bench. But enough with these other people. Let's just get down to it. First round. Now, what I would do, honestly, I'm going on a limb here. I would trade up and get Carson Wentz. End this cycle of quarterbacks. End this carousel of quarterbacks. I see EDP's mad. I see this guy's mad. All I got to say is, do you guys ever want to win a Super Bowl? Do you ever want to win a Super Bowl? Because when you keep bringing in retreads and old people's players, you know, like the Sam Bradford, who I think is a good quarterback, but you're bringing him in from another team, making a trade. He came off an ACL. You're bringing in this guy, Michael Vick, who was another guy's thing, just came out of prison. This, that. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. You have to draft your guy. I think the only guy besides Jim Plumpkin and a couple others who have been either from free agency or trade have won a Super Bowl in this era has been Drew Brees. Every other quarterback, go look at it, of this generation or this so-called era, who has made, well, besides Peyton Manning, but he's an all-time great. Drew Brees is an all-time great. Sam Bradford ain't an all-time great. You get what I'm saying? Either was Michael Vick. But every guy who has ever won a Super Bowl for a team, he was drafted by that organization. The Colts won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. You get what I'm saying? Tom Brady, of course. Russell Wilson. So you get what I'm coming from. I'm sick and tired of this carousel of quarterbacks, and then everyone's excuse is, well, he has to sit out for a year. Fine, let him fucking sit out for a year. Who cares? That means we're 1 year away from having our quarterback. That means, shit, he sits out, he actually gets to learn. And instead of throwing him out there, because you could throw him out there and he might actually be good. He might actually win Rookie of the damn year. But imagine if you let him sit back for 1 year and not let him win that Rookie of the year. Instead of throwing 30 touchdowns, he might throw 45. Now, I'm hyping up Carson Wentz a little too much. But you get what I'm saying. You have the vet in Sam Bradford. You have Chase Daniels, who's here to be a teacher. Once again, a teacher. He's going to teach Sam Bradford the offense. He's going to teach the rookie the offense. This is what we did with Donovan McNabb. This is Donovan McNabb 2.0. I don't know how people don't see it. Everyone's saying, oh, fuck that. I'd rather have a player like Elliott or DeForest Buckner or Miles Jack, someone who's going to start day one. Let me tell you something. Ezekiel Elliott ain't winning you a Super Bowl. He might help, but he ain't winning you one unless you have the quarterback. DeForest Buckner ain't helping you win a Super Bowl. And the reason why everyone's hyped up about taking a different player over a quarterback at number 8 is because they want a day one starter. I don't give a shit if you're picking at number 1. It's not about being a beast day one. It's about looking at the projection. You pick this player up, and literally this player has 3 years to show something. That's how it works in the NFL. I don't care if you're number 1 overall pick. Because you're first off, when you're a top pick, number 1 overall pick, you have more luxury. For example, RG3, if he wasn't picked number 2 overall, he would have been out the league 2 years ago. Or a year ago, he would have been out the NFL. Or he would have been a fourth string quarterback. No one would have picked him the fuck up. Same thing with Sam Bradford, first overall pick. He would have been out the league if he was a 5th round pick or 6th round pick like Tom Brady. That's just a double standard. I think it's fucked up. But you get what I'm saying. People sit back and they're complaining about, well, he has to sit out, this, that, sit out, all this stupid shit, okay? Let me tell you something, man. I don't know when we'll pick at number 8 again. This is our shot to get the quarterback. Now you have to trade up and get him. A lot of people are saying, trade up to 1, trade up to here, trade up to there. No, you trade with the Cleveland Browns. I know that stupid organization would make a trade for some picks to get Carson Wentz. I like Carson Wentz. I like Jared Goff. And, man, the real reason I want to get one of those quarterbacks is not just because I want a franchise quarterback. It's because I want to start this era of Doug Pederson off with a franchise quarterback. Every fucking coach who comes into the league, they start their era off with a quarterback. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember exactly when Belichick became the Patriots head coach, but he did draft Tom Brady, didn't he? I think a couple years in, or maybe even his first year. I don't know. Pete Carroll, he had to suffer with some quarterback troubles, and he finally got his guy in Russell Wilson. I mean, I repeat this over and over again. I mean, when Sean Payton became the coach of the Saints, he brought in Drew Brees. It just works like that. Andy Reid picked up McNabb. That was his first pick as an NFL coach in a draft. This is how the system works. This is how you win Super Bowls. Unless you inherit an Aaron Rodgers, a Big Ben, a fucking Peyton Manning, well, he's retired, a Tom Brady. Unless you're inheriting one of those, you go out and get your damn guy. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, I don't know if you get Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Paxton Lynch. I think Jared Goff and Carson Wentz are the best quarterbacks in this draft, hands down. I think those two are going to be the guys who you would want. Now, whatever you want, Pederson, get your fucking quarterback, because you know what? If you fail, you fail. But I'll tell you what right now. If you fail, you can at least, we don't have nothing to, like, for example, with the Chip Kelly era, the whole thing was he didn't have his quarterback. He didn't have his quarterback. He didn't have his quarterback. I don't want that to happen with Pederson. I don't want Pederson to fail and us to sit back and say, damn, what if he had his quarterback, not having to pick it up a retread. I want you to start your era off with your quarterback. So if you succeed, we say, damn, we were right, dog. You need to draft a quarterback. We need a franchise quarterback. Haven't had one since Donovan McNabb. You know how goddamn long ago that is? And also, if you fail, we could say, well, he got his quarterback, he failed, yada, yada, yada. It was whatever. On to the next coach. That's how I want to do it. But there's so many other options. I know I went on so long with the quarterback position. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling on. But that's the biggest topic right now. Will the Eagles trade up? Will the Eagles do this? Will the Eagles do that? I don't know what they're going to do. But I would either take Elliott. I would definitely look at the quarterbacks. Definitely look at the quarterbacks. This is the future. We need a quarterback, okay? I would definitely look at the quarterbacks. And whoever else is the best player on the board. Joey Bosa, whatever. I have no problem with it. Really, I don't. And then in the third round, you can take a Michael Thomas or whatever his name is, Michael Thomas, the wide receiver. I think at Mississippi something. I don't know where the hell he plays. Look him up. There's a whole bunch of players. But that's just my really, you know what? Actually, I'm going to title this video, Should the Eagles Trade Up to Get the Quarterback? Because this is all I talk about is the quarterback. I'll be back here with an actual mock draft later on this week. All right, y'all. Peace.